Oops, it's all right. So this will get us caught up to where we're at this week. And then as we left last week, um, we gave some homework of, hey, we gave another the elicitation results. So, we have, the results that we said, hey, we gave those to our participants and said, hey, take those back. Oh, go ahead, Aaron. She
That's
was saying
right.
something.
So here they are. So now that you've done your elicitation, you've talked to all 8 stakeholders, and notice that that first prompt said, you can assume that I'm speaking to all the individual stakeholders individually by themselves. It's not a group discussion. Now that you've actually talked to all 8 of them, and that I've just fed in the chat um, your elicitation summaries of all those discussions. So here's your elicitation results. And I'll get that second prompt for you, Van.
No worries.
Go ahead.
Yep. So what we'll do is, we'll take this uh, interview results, and what we're going to do is we are going to put in a prompt and say, hey, we want to take all these results and we want to create distinct functional requirements from them. So we're going to create the requirements. We're going to ask it to flag any conflicting requirements. We're going to ask it to notice some gaps. One key thing we're going to have it do is we're going to give it some guidance to what we want the requirements to look like. So, probably at your different jobs, for your work, you probably have standards that you need to have your requirements follow. So that, and meaning like, you got a requirement ID, like a number, some kind of a number, requirement one, requirement two, requirement three. You may be a requirement statement, a source, priority indication, something like that. So depending on whatever your standards are for your requirements, you could load them into your chat, and then the result is going to come out in that format. So we're doing that as well. So we'll load up the document, which are all of the results, and also the next prompt to create some functional requirements.
So I fed both of those through the chat. So
So now we're going to have you guys play along, whoever's playing along. And what we want to do is this is really where we kind of want to discuss what kind of results we get. So we may have to refer back to the document a little bit to look at it. Um, and that's okay. But let's talk about what you get, what we get.
so I see we've got someone else that has joined us, Iking. So welcome. Thank you for being here. First of all, everybody, this is kind of where we left off last week. We had just fed the second prompt and allowed people to do it, and then gave them a week to review, see what you got um, from your Gen AI. And now we're going to review it all together and everything. But first of all, is everybody caught up with us? Like we said, this is audience participation. This is you doing it. We call this thing learn by doing. So it's not we're here to demonstrate it. We're here to tell you how to do it or that. We want you to actually do it. If you haven't used ChatGPT or Gen AI to help you with your um, business analysis tasks and deliverables, then this is perfect place for you to be to learn and to see and actually do it, not just be told about it and that. So please do with us and everything. Um, and, we want to look at what your results are. So I could stop sharing. And if somebody wants to grab the screen and show your results, and this is where your business analysis skills, your expertise comes into play. Don't ever take Gen AI results and just hand them to your stakeholders. you're not doing your stakeholders any justice and
Yeah.
doing that. And I think you've all heard the story. I think it was 2023 in California. An attorney used Gen AI or ChatGPT to research some cases that he was getting ready to prepare for, and that he just took the results that he got from ChatGPT, took them to court, and argued the cases that ChatGPT gave him in open court, in front of a judge. And come to find out that some of those cases never existed. ChatGPT had hallucinated on him, and he didn't realize that, and he just took the results and went with them, and it backfired on him. So don't do that. Like I said, this is where your expertise comes in. We're going to look at these now as Van runs through these and that, and it's like you're checking for accuracy, appropriateness to your situation, and that, and completeness. Did it leave anything out?
And we'll see if anybody wants to share. And then another thing too is all this stuff is like Aaron says, this is an assistant. Kind of it can get you part way there, especially if you're at a point of, hey, you know what, I'm starting with a blank page for my requirements. I just want to get a starting point for them. Man, AI can be a really good starting point for that. It can go ahead and start making you a set of requirements. May not be perfect, and it probably won't be, but it's you're not having to start from a blank page. And I would equate it a little bit to like if you have ever developed software, like when you're writing a program for software development, typically you're not starting with a blank page. Typically you're starting with some kind of another program that's similar, and then you usually change it and make it work for what you want to do. This kind of does that for you. It kind of builds that starting point, and then you can change it and make it what you want. So it's just kind of a shortcut. Um, and one other great thing about it is it might show you things that you didn't think of, which I think is one of the other very valuable things about generative AI is, it gives a different point of view that you might not think of, which has a lot of value. So that being said, does anybody see a result that they want to talk about or show?
I'd be happy to.
Thanks, Bill.
Let me go ahead and share. And here we go. And here we go. One moment. Let me just get it formatted up here.
No
There we go.
worries.
All right. So I didn't do anything more than submit it, and I just started eyeballing it. But I would, in the end, I would ask for it to then export it out so that I can have it in more of a usable format. I mean, it's usable right now, but I guess I
Hey,
could copy.
Bill,
Yeah.
the co-pilot part of that larger. I can see the bridge, and that's probably not good.
No.
Um,
Uh,
there should be a way to expand
how about
If
these.
now?
you,
Do you see it now?
That's good. I
Yeah.
barely nothing that's really readable or anything, so that's good. Um, but you make a very good point, and I said this last week is there's always a copy button where you could copy everything that ChatGPT just wrote for you, and I put it in a Word document. So I don't always have to go back to my browser and find that old chat and because I got several chats going on. um, so I'm documenting everything and I can store it wherever I need it on my computer and always get back to it. Um, and it's a lot easier to manipulate in a Word document and that than, in these results. So sorry, Bill, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm not familiar with that button you're referring to. I usually just type it in. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, you might have to highlight or go down. Is that the bottom of your results? What's the
No,
little
it's
icon at the right, at the bottom right of there?
I don't know, hold on. I was exporting it.
Oh, okay. Well, there's an
Mhm.
export. Yeah, yeah, there is a copy, the left icon of that series of icons. I think that's a copy icon.
Yeah, look at that.
Copy response. Yeah.
So I hit that, I open a Word document and just paste it right in.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
you know, so in preparing this, we've got 6 or 7 prompts here that we're going to do
Uh,
over these next 3 weeks, or last week and today, next week. Um, and I have that all saved in a prompt document or a Word document, just preparing for this event and, preparing to make this a good experience for you.
I
So
learned something new here. I didn't know you could do this.
a lot easier than exporting it. When it exports, what does it export into, Bill?
Well, I told it to put it in a Word format, so download the Word
Hmm.
file.
Ah, okay.
Let's
So
try it. Let's
basically,
see.
that's doing the same thing. I think the copy function is faster.
Yeah,
Oh, it
you might.
did. It is slightly different though. This one actually, it
It
actually
made a
framed,
table
yeah,
in the
framed
Word
it out,
document,
and
which
yeah,
is pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, and it's like you can several different ways that you can do this. Like Aaron said, you can copy paste it out. You can have it create a document like Bill just did, create a Word document,
Hmm.
um, which if you're using Copilot, Copilot's a Microsoft thing, so it probably plays pretty well with other Microsoft products. You could probably also download these into a spreadsheet. You know, for in his case, I think it made a table
Hmm.
uh, from the Word document. So you could do it either way, and you can download. And that's one of the beauties of generative AI is it's really good at transforming things from one format to another, and it includes language. Like if you wanted to hey, I want to make this Spanish, you could very easily transform it to Spanish. Will it be perfect? No, but will it be a pretty good start? Yeah, probably will be. Uh, so that's a kind of a different example, but that's what we're doing here is GPT is transforming the result that it got into a Word document for you. Uh,
Here's what is different. It did not when I said export to Word format, it didn't copy this stuff here. It ended with just this
Just
functional
the table.
requirement. Yeah,
Yeah.
just functional requirement 13.
Okay.
So, so moral of the story is this way is better.
So both ways got you the table.
Hmm.
The other one kind of looks a little cleaner, although this one, the requirements are taking up more of the
Hmm.
horizontal space. So, whichever you like, we've always said, I think Bill Van and I have always said, play with it. Um, learn, what it does for you, just like this export versus copy. Decide for yourself. What do you like
yeah.
best? What gives you the
Yeah,
best results?
or you can choose the format. Is it Excel or Word? I have done.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and even in Excel and that, um, you can, I
But
think
to
it
be honest,
says, that it may give you the option to download in Excel format
yes, and
or
then but
export.
many times it export in a non-appropriate format. So you have also to feed the Gen AI how many columns and how many, like example, how many columns you need in the Excel and what type of data should be shown in each column.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
actually, yeah.
also, I think, I'm sorry, but also, I think Bill could highlight just this table portion of this and open Excel and paste it in there. And it may be a special paste he has to do. but he could get it to format it into columns.
Yeah, we could give that a try. If you're game, Bill, you'll be our guinea pig.
So yeah, I mean, it's absolutely possible to do all of that. And how quickly did it, write 13 requirements here? I'm assuming that's what you got, Bill.
Yeah, took about 30 seconds.
Yeah, how long would it take you? So there you are. You could see he's got 4 columns right there. So pasted it in just fine. So if your template at your company is an Excel template, you know, Gen AI can still do that for you. All right. Anybody else? Did anybody get different? Did anybody
this
get
you
other than 13 requirements?
Let's see, I got 23 different requirements.
Say quite a different. Let me go back because I just did it in my. duh, duh, duh. Uh, 16, 17, 18. I got 18. So that brings, and we would have to do individual comparison to what Bill got here to see, do I got his 13 and 5 more? And
I
then
got 30,
what you got, I'm in?
30, 30.
Ah,
Three. You got 30? He beat you. And
I think
yeah.
GPT is hallucinating.
Oh,
it,
it's very possible. Yeah, he might have some
yeah,
extra
be
stuff in
careful of
there.
that. And that's where I was saying this is where
Yeah,
your expertise comes in. Look at those results, actually read those requirements. And do you think that's appropriate for this particular situation? This scenario that we're talking about, a check deposit app. And that, does it
You
relate
can
to
show me
your
screenshot.
elicitation results? That's where traceability might help you, right? If you could trace each one of those requirements back to a stakeholder said that or inferred it. Um, okay, so we're getting some results.
yeah.
87 with Claude.
Actually, it
Oh my
identified
God.
itself. It says conflicts and issue requiring resolution. No, sorry, I have to go through
There
that
you go.
all the comments
No
because
worries.
I have done some customization to the result about it's being like it's using extra information when describing anything, any question I'm asking it. Not taking it
Okay.
like not summarize it or briefly just show the result.
So Amy got 87 requirements. So Habiba, am I pronouncing your name right? Habiba?
Yes, correct.
Ah,
Oh, okay. Thank you. 17, and you're using ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Okay. But Ahmad used ChatGPT and he got 30. So very interesting.
yeah.
I'm on the paid version.
Ah, oh, you
Oh,
might
the paid
the paid
version.
Oh,
version.
I'm on the
That
free
that
one.
could be a
Yes.
difference.
That makes difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on the free one.
I'm just kidding. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the kind of the customization I have done related to the answers I am
Okay.
receiving from the GPT. Most probably.
So you keen? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what did you get? Am I pronouncing your name right? Yakeen Obi? Okay. We will
Worries.
move on.
Yeah, let me ask you all this. Do you all want to take a look at just a couple of responses and just check them out and see if they make sense? Or obviously you're not like if you were doing this for real, you would look and see, hey, does this response even make sense? Is it something I can work with? Um, but
You're getting a thumbs up from Amy.
all right, so maybe let's try do Bill, do you want to share? Well, anyone want to share their first one or two requirements, or I can share what I have as well, um, and
I'd
we
be
can
happy.
kind of look at that and compare it to the original document and see,
Sure.
hey, how close is this? How good is it?
Okay. And there you
I'll
go.
bring up the original document at the same time, and we'll take a look and we'll see what it looks like. Yeah, so your first one, mobile app. Okay, and this is from the customer experience manager.
You make that larger, Bill. We don't need all that white. There we go. Move back to the left. There we are. Thank you. The mobile
Absolutely.
shall allow customers deposit checks by capturing images of the front and back using their device camera.
Okay.
Basic, right?
Yeah.
Kind of the whole concept, right?
I got the same for me. Just very simple statement.
hmm
That's good. I think that one makes sense to what we're doing. Let's see.
It's not hallucinating.
Not yet. Not yet. So,
Not yet. Actually,
let's,
I'm sorry, man. That day
no, go ahead.
I attended a lecture about something called information mapping. And as per lecturer, actually, it helped reduce hallucination by around more than 50% for the
Oh,
same AI client. It's about labeling, using paragraph and labeling and tables to show the same data or the same information, but instead of a wall of words, it's more like, I would say, visually appealing to the human eye reader. And the same thing applies for the AI agent. It allows it to easier understand and reduce hallucination. I did not, of course, fact check all what I've seen, but I think it could be a nice thing to read about.
yeah, that makes sense because, if you can feed your data into some kind of a table that AI can more easily understand, like you said, it bases all this on context. So if you can help organize your information better, you get a better result. Um, that's interesting. I hadn't heard of that before, but it makes sense. It'd be worth uh, playing around with.
The one thing I'd be interested in, because I'm thinking about, I'm with a credit union and we have check mobile deposit app, or mobile app that has check deposit functionality. And I'm thinking through that process when I don't do a lot of check deposits that way, but I have. And one thing that I remember in the process in that is that I type in the amount of the deposit, because you think about it that optical reading, um, optical character recognition, OCR
Yes,
software
true.
can read that those little icons down there, or the
For
little
handwritten,
things
for
down there.
handwritten text,
it
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 makes a
can,
big difference.
yeah, it can get your check number, it can get your account number, the routing number for your bank. It can read all of that, but the check amount, it's either printed on there or it's handwritten. And particularly if it's handwritten, that might be hard for OCR to read. So I'm wondering if any of these requirements here are, give the person the ability to enter the deposit amount. See, I see
Let's
deposit
see.
history in there. Did anybody get that result in there? That
I'm checking.
I'll look at mine
Not
does
too.
it
for me. No,
is
it's
that
all
an
about
important
handles and
part of the
handling
process?
OCR. It's handling OCR failure, pre-fill, auto
Oh God, I
reading.
got a thing about handling reject. did deposits. Deposit confirmation, multi-account deposit support. That doesn't make a
Actually,
whole lot of
for
sense.
me, I get a point. It says auto read and pre-fill check amount via OCR with manual edit option.
That's good. Yeah, if it can actually read it, because if it's printed on there, it might be easy for OCR to read that. But if it's handwritten, it might be a lot harder for OCR to recognize it. So I like that one, Ahmed, is, allow it to manual entry or auto read of check amount is my functional requirement 6. And
Yeah.
I like my results here. It's gave me the source, the priority, conflicts, none, gaps. Do we allow users to fully override deposited amount? Risk may want constraints. So yeah, mine actually cited its sources and gave me a priority. So which Bill's here is doing as well.
Yeah, that's true.
But the prompt asked for that too.
Yeah, so far so good. Let's see here. I have something similar on mine as well. I can show you guys what mine did just for funsies if you want to see around this topic. I'll share it real quick. Uh,
Show us what you got there, Van.
so here's what I got when we did this one, and this is really, we got all the requirements, but around the check amount, the system shall display the amount detected by OCR and require the user to confirm/edit before submission. It says, okay, who's this for? It's for the customer experience manager is the person. Uh, it also cites that it pulled it from that notes document that we uploaded. And in my case, I think it made a priority for the requirements as well. It made it a priority of medium. So it's got so it did that. So not bad. That's pretty good. I mean, that's not a bad start. Um, it says it's going to follow. The system is going to enforce deposit eligibility rules. Meaning your account has to be probably active, things like that. Uh, all these things. So pretty useful, good requirements. Uh, yeah. So that's what it did. So let me stop sharing.
All right. So
Anybody else have anything like that they want to share on theirs and chat about? I'm looking down through it if I can find anything that I know is wrong. I am curious to see if there's
we're
something in
we're
it.
seeing your prep document that's
Oh,
showing prompt 3.
let me stop sharing. There we
We're
go.
not
Now you
there
should
yet.
have. We're not. Yeah, no kidding. We're not there yet. Sorry about that. No worries. So yeah, but yeah. Does anyone see anything in theirs that looks bad or wrong? They don't like.
Didn't get any requirements about
We are
whole.
searching hallucination, right?
Yeah, just kind of looking for anything that
Specifically, but
goes.
not
Yeah,
like
like.
things that just does not make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing things like GPS, timestamp, uh, display fund availability, and deposit limit disclosures.
That's one thing you
Uh,
might want to look at very closely, Amy, since you've got 87 requirements, is, how much of them are, you know, appropriate and accurate to your scenario, or did ChatGPT, hallucinate on you?
I agree. I think that's a good point. That's a lot of requirements.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're moving on time here.
For me, some of them
Van.
are
Ah, no problem.
doesn't make sense, but not in the sense of they are wrong. They are kind of useless or inappropriate or something like that. But no hallucination from my side.
Good. So let's
Cool.
move on to prompt three.
This
And it's very appropriate. I've heard you say this before, Van, and we've kind
Mhm.
of seen it here where a couple people use ChatGPT and a couple people use Copilot. You've got different number of functional requirements in that. So even though you're using the same tool, your answers might be slightly different. And even though you fed it the same document, you fed it the same prompt, you you might get a slightly different answer. And so, be aware of that. And that's, make sure that it's not hallucinating on you and that it's giving you something that is
actually
very
me,
appropriate.
it's allowing me even to add my occupation in the setting,
Okay.
the profile setting. Add my occupation uh, in personalization. I have custom instructions. It's saying being talkative and conversational till it's like do not sugarcoat responses. I'm not sure where I got this from. I know I have made this entry myself. Also, pace, style, and tone.
Okay. That's interesting. There for a second, I thought maybe you were creating an AI agent,
That's exactly
which
what that sounds like, but it's okay.
yeah, Van will tell you all about
Yeah,
AI
and
agents.
really that's what you can do. It's almost like a persona. So like for you, you're building an agent or a persona of, hey, here's how I want you to interact with me. You can do that via an agent. And just your default agent might be asking you that for your default on your GPT. Some GPTs allow you to create different agents. So you might have, hey, I want an agent for a travel advisor. I want an agent for my BA work. I want it, and you talk about,
Yes,
hey, here's the tone. Here's the different
there's an
things.
agent trained on CBAP material.
Yeah.
Right.
And Ahmed
Yeah.
said he was on a paid version. So,
Hmm.
Also, this may be one of the perks also, being paid or not paid.
so
Yeah, that's true. Some of the not paid
It's
versions, you can't
amazing.
create agents. You
yeah.
It's
just have
still
to use what it
amazing
has.
that it
So I,
reacts
I did
different.
bring that up as you may get differences and that because I did this back in October. I prompt chat GPT with all these prompts, and I'm seeing that I'm getting a different question from chat GPT now than what I did back in October. And that so my chat GPT now is to do so here's that manual entry or auto read to check them out. So much what you guys got. But at the very end, it asked me a question. Do you want to proceed to the next category? When I did it back in October, it asked me, so it's going to give me risk and fraud functional requirements if I answer that yes. Back in
Yes,
October,
same
it
for
asked me
me.
if I wanted back office and branch support functional requirements. So this is a little out of order from my previous responses. But my third response or prompt was just to simply answer ChatGPT's question to me. Would you like to proceed to the next category? Yes. So go ahead. Did ChatGPT ask you a question once it gave you all those functional requirements?
Let's see. I bet different people had different ones.
Yeah,
So we,
you might have got a different question in that.
oh, for sure. I think you will.
Question off. Look at this. It's still writing for me.
Yep. So it's going
I
through and
posted
building.
mine in the Zoom. It's related to what Aaron is have
Yeah.
received.
So sometime your prompt is simply answer ChatGPT's question.
Yeah.
Simple prompt. Yes.
Yeah, especially if you were to build, say, the agent of, hey, I'm a business analyst and I follow the CBAP rules and this and that, uh, CBAP techniques, it could, when it does these, figure out what to do next. It's going to probably affect, what it's going to do. It's going to say, hey, from a business analyst perspective, what would they want to do next? And, it might give you a different response than if you didn't give it any kind of guidance or any kind of context on who you are and why you're doing this. Um, so that can help you a lot.
Buddy put in the prompt what looks like the question I got last time. So Ahmed put in the prompt, would you like to proceed next with back office fraud management functional requirements? Which is what think I got last time. And that. So yeah, so sometimes you don't need a well-structured prompt. You don't need to, give it any background or that. The prompt can be a simple word, yes or no, or you don't actually have to tell it no, but instead of my wanting fraud requirements in that, whatever my thing was, um, I wanted transition requirements or something of that nature, then, instead of saying no, I could have just prompted ChatGPT with, please give me compliance and regulatory functional requirements or technical integration functional requirements. So you don't necessarily have to do it in the order that ChatGPT is saying, but eventually you'll get them all however you do it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely get a starting point. Um,
Uh, and then do, and then you may want non-functional requirements, right? So this is
exactly.
the fourth prompt that I fed it. So telling it, continuing with that same table structure that it has created for us, provide non-functional requirements. Performance, security, usability that you can extract from the elicitation summaries.
So we'll see what that cooks up for you. It should run for a minute or two. Mine's thinking of some results.
Anybody want to share their results?
Oh boy.
So I get a
I can,
question. Which section would you like next? So I'm going
at
to
the very
prompt it what I just put into the chat, the fourth prompt. Give me non-functionals. And it's creating the same table. And it split it out. Performance requirements, then security requirements. Still going. Usability and accessibility requirements. So I've got 5 performance requirements, 8 security requirements, usability, accessibility requirements, got 7. Reliability and availability requirements, got 4. Maintainability and scalability, I got 5. Compliance and regulatory non-functional requirements, I got 8. And I got key conflicts. Guess I could share. So this was what I was reading. Put it in the same table format. everything. So my 8 compliance, regulatory. Then it identifies key conflicts across the non-functional requirements.
Here we go.
Use real-time UX versus fraud. Device fingerprinting. When did we talk about fingerprinting?
I was thinking that same thing. I don't remember it being anything about fingerprinting on our app.
Yeah, and
So I
then
might
there's
have sort of made that up a little bit, but that's okay.
yeah,
And you know what?
but,
That's an example of stuff that you didn't think of. Like this will come up with stuff that, oh, you know what? I never thought about fingerprint verification for, for security. Like, oh, maybe I should. So, you could either throw that out and go, yeah, we don't need it, or it could be, oh, you know what?
It's
Something
like
we
the
didn't even
eye.
think of.
and then gave me outstanding gaps in your non-functional requirements. Final performance SLA for image capture and processing.
Oh, yeah.
Final list of audit fields for compliance. 7-year retention.
Hey, Van, I had a question for you. So based on
Shoot.
these gaps, um, have you seen where you found these gaps and then you go back to the stakeholders and it increases the scope of the project because you've not thought of something? Sometimes it's a nice thing, but sometimes it can change the entire project. So I
Yeah.
think I'm going back to what Aaron had said in the beginning that you have to really look at these requirements. And that's something that I'm seeing that I'm not thought about something, but I don't want to increase the scope of the project because every time you say something to a stakeholder, yeah, we would love that. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's go with it. So
Of
um
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that
It's,
that is a risk in it. Scope creep, certainly.
yeah.
yeah.
But you if you allow these gaps to continue in that, you're not getting complete requirements. So it may not be about, increasing the scope of your work. It may be filling in all the gaps of your requirements. So image capture and processing is, probably it's definitely within your scope when you started this project. This is asking, about the final performance service level agreement for that image capture and processing. So, you know, if that you don't have SLA requirements identified up above, then you may want to go back to your stakeholders or
Um,
find a way to um, you'll have to get consensus of your stakeholders that, yeah, this is what we want for performance. I know we asked for like a 99.6% uptime or something relative to that. I remember seeing that I think it was in the elicitation results when you talk to one of the stakeholders. I can now produce a full consolidated requirements document, a non-functional requirements formatted in the formal SRS ready table, functional acceptance criteria for each NFR, non-functional requirement. What would you like next? So that's what I got this time in that. So we are nearing the hour, man.
Yes,
So
we are getting close.
does
Um,
anybody else get anything different or that? Um,
I'm looking at what I got if anyone wants to see that. Let's see. Mine were a lot around system availability as far as non-functional requirements go,
yep.
meaning, how long should a typical transaction take? What happens if the system's unresponsive? Uh, some stuff about optical character recognition. How long does it take for that to perform? Uh, what about peak load during
Peak
your
load.
for your app, things like that. So I'm seeing a lot of things like that in my non-functional requires. A lot of it's around system performance. Um, but that might be some of the things that you get back. And you know what? Some of that stuff, may or may not be good, but from the perspective of, us business analysts, a lot of times we don't think about system performance. We just like assume, oh, things just going to work, and you're like, oh, you know what? We got to have some performance rules around this, especially around peak times. Like, okay, what if 500 people are trying to upload a check at the same time from their 500 apps running on their phones? What happens? What capacity does this thing need to have? That's what this thing is showing me. It's like, oh, I didn't even maybe think about that. I need to think about it. Maybe it's not the right numbers that I necessarily care about for what I'm doing, but at least it's pointing me in that direction. I didn't even think about it before. So can be helpful.
Well, we save the rest for next week.
We can do that for sure. So I think, yeah, we're almost there on time. Before we let you all go, does anyone else have anything else they want to discuss before we cut you loose?
Now you'll be able to save this, or ChatGPT or your Gen AI will save this automatically. And when we come back next week, you'll want to get back into this chat with your ChatGPT or your Gen AI. And we're just going to continue with prompt number 5. And just continue it in that. So it's very nice how Gen AI doesn't make you get everything right now. You can always come back to this very same chat, and pick up, in the future. So with that,
Right.
we'll call this one done. We hope you enjoyed it, got a lot out of it. Thank you for participating with us. Um, you know, uh, we hope
Thank
we
you.
got those wheels turning in your head and thinking about it's more than just requirements. Um, so um, and just how powerful this can be an assistant for you.
All
Scary.
right.
All right. So
Yeah.
thank you for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day, your week. We'll see you next Monday.
Yeah. Next Monday. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.